Hi, welcome to LifeBuddy. This week I'd like to talk to you about the news. Over recent weeks, when I've been helping people with their resilience, one of the things that I have been saying to them is the importance of cutting down on your access to the news. In fact, I came across some research recently which actually suggested that 3 minutes of watching negative news can impact you negatively for the next 6 to 8 hours. So there's lots of reasons why it's really unhelpful to spend most of your day looking at the news. It's very easy for me to suggest ways and things that you should avoid. And if you do want to access the news, one of the things that I suggest perhaps is access the news in a Word format rather than watching it on TV. But today what I really want to talk to you about is thinking about a new type of news, and that's the acronym NEWS. Now that stands for nutrition, exercise, water and sleep. And one of the things that we really know from all of our research about resilience, but also about well-being and general mental health, is the importance of accessing this type of news. The importance of really good nutrition, regular exercise, lots and lots of water and good sleep. So I'm just going to mention a few things that you might be able to do to help yourself this week in terms of focusing on improving your news, if you like, the access to the news that's going to really help you. So in terms of nutrition, the really important thing is to try to cut down on processed food and certainly try to cut down on sugar and on alcohol. And I know when things are difficult, those perhaps are the things that you might reach for. They're the things that you think will help you. But what we know is that they only help in the very short term. And that long-term accessing sugar and alcohol obviously is really unhelpful. So in terms of nutrition, have a think about the food that you're going to shop for this week. And I would really encourage you to fill your shopping basket full of things which are really colourful. So lots and lots and lots of fruit and vegetables. You won't be surprised to hear me say that. But also things that you may not have been thinking about eating before. So almonds, Brazil nuts, the importance of blueberries, and obviously anything that has access to omega-3 or omega-6, so things like chia seeds and fish, hugely important. If you're spending lots of your time at home at the moment, it's really important that you don't spend your day grazing on really bad foods, because that isn't going to help you in terms of your cognitive ability, in terms of your problem solving and your particularly your resilience, so your thinking. That's not going to help at all. If you're packing a lunch to go out to work, then thinking ahead and creating some really healthy wraps are going to be great. Taking lots of fruit and vegetables for you to graze on through the day, perhaps some hummus, all of those things. Anything that's really fresh is going to be great for your brain and therefore really good for your well-being. Exercise goes without saying. I know everybody doesn't really want to sometimes do it or feel motivated to go out, particularly when the weather's not so great and you can't access the gyms at the moment, we can't access classes, but there's lots that we can do. We can put on a YouTube video, we can dance in our own homes, we can do an aerobic exercise, we can go out, we can walk up a hill. So there are lots of things that we can do that might be actually fun to do. Anything that raises our heartbeat is going to be really important for us. So really try to think about what exercise that you might be doing and see if you can introduce some into your daily life, and that's going to be really helpful for your well-being. Water, around 85% of our brains are made up of water. So if our brains dry out, then our ability to be able to think straight and have really good well-being is going to be difficult. So what I would really encourage you to do is carry around a water bottle through the day and keep topping it up regularly. Perhaps pop some slices of lemon or orange into your water and keep sipping on that water through the day. It's really going to help keep your brain hydrated. And when your brain is hydrated, you will feel better and you will also be able to process things better. So you'll be more resilient, you'll be more mindful, you should be calmer. And finally, sleep. It's really crucial that we get good quality, at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep every day. The importance of sleep can't be underestimated because it gives our brain the opportunity to sort things out, to be able to file the things from the day that were really important, that we learned and that we want to retain. But sleep also allows our brain to be able to disregard and check out those things that aren't helpful, that we don't need to retain. So the brain needs to spend time sorting information, and it needs to be asleep to be able to do that. So just before you go to sleep every night, have a really good sleep routine. Start thinking about perhaps what we would have done perhaps when we brought up our little babies, to try and think about getting them into a sleep routine. So nice and calm, not too much interaction beforehand. Certainly don't watch the news. Think about having a really nice smell in your room, lowering the lights, and also taking the time to write in your gratitude journal. Because if you can write for just 2 minutes in terms of the things that you were grateful for that happened that day, you're going to go to bed not on cortisol, which is anxiety creating, but you'll go to bed on serotonin. So that's going to be really helpful to calm you. So create a really helpful sleep routine that's going to help not just get you to sleep, but also keep you to sleep. And if you'd like more information about sleep routines, we've got some blogs on lifebuddy.co.uk that you may be interested in. So just for this week, I want to encourage you to try a different type of news. Nutrition, exercise, water and sleep. Dead easy to remember. Avoid the negative news, watching it on TV, and switch over to this news, which is really going to be helpful for your well-being. Good luck.